Oh, Peter. See, Tommy brought the A-team today.
Yeah, he did. Little change since we scouted yesterday. We had a nice ½ inch of snow, and today, a little rain. We're gonna deal with a little slop today.
I'll tell you, you're sporting pretty good, my friend. Eskimo gear. You got all these new Eskimo ice shacks. You got hubs, you got pistols, you got drills.
Right now we're just fishing around small inland lakes south of Ashland, I'll say. We're gonna check the basin. We're roaming around right now seeing if
we're looking for giant crappies. That's the goal for the day is giant crappies. Yeah, that's a giant.
We got that just setting up.
Right. Hey guys, we'll talk about a lot. But let's hang on to your heinies and let's get this thing rolling.
Look at this. They're not that big, but there's a couple. They're only 10 foot away from me right now. There, you see them dancing around right there, 80 foot that way? We'll bring this and just get close. There's what we want, 20 foot that way. We need an auger. The pistol bit, I'll show you in a second here on this E40 head. So this thing can go literally from the drill. So you can have the drill, any drill. I got my pistol bit all the way up to a 6-inch, all the way up to a 10-inch. You can also put the adapter on here for your screw-ins going into your hub shelters. How slick is that? Right there.
Here we go. First crappie, the old tungsten.
This is a little
Acme tungsten.
Wait till they're busy.
Yep. That's how that goes, right?
Oh.
Oh my. That's what he gets for fishing my hole.
You know, so we're using some of that forward-facing sonar to look for these fish in the basin. And we try to keep that sonar a ways away because it does spook some of these pressured fish. But I like to always take the float off my Vexilar. And I get that because when you go down the hole in 20 feet of water, your cone's pretty small. But if you just go down the hole with no float on there and you swing this both ways, back and forth both ways, you'll shine just like a flashlight hanging on a string. You're kind of looking at a bigger area, so you don't have so many holes. And just to see if they're around you, if they're in range where I can swing this and see something on my Vexilar, I'll fish that hole and you'll be able to bring them over to your lure. So it's just a trick so you can kind of find more fish when you're hole hopping to each one of these holes on the basin.
You think color makes a big difference when it comes to crappie?
I like the green on here, Fire Tiger. White, gold and orange don't seem to be a big one for me here, but just a confidence thing.
How much denial will you take as far as how many fish reject?
Not very many.
Bait? Okay.
Especially these early ice crappies. I mean, they shouldn't be that hard to catch. That spoon I had on, that was pretty big. You gotta have a pretty aggressive crappie to be hitting them, which it can turn on in an hour. All the snow going off the ice. They seem to be a lot spookier with the drill this morning.
Hooked up. I think when it comes to fishing crappies, definitely the more aggressive you are as far as, you know, hole jumping is definitely, it's going to be more productive. That's a nice fish, buddy. Oh, that is a nice one.
That never gets old.
No.
Never gets old.
I don't know what is it about
more leery
crappies.
this morning. It is early yet and it's gloomy, but we're definitely having to work for him.
And he's got one coming in hot.
11.5, I'd say. Beautiful.
You like showing off for the camera.
I love that. Whoa. Oh, Willie, saved it for you. Got them stacked down there. That's me dropping down there. Yep, I got like 2 or 3 of them down there. Whoop, stop before you get to them. Try to stay above them. Try to get them to come to you. Never drop right into them, ever. Always try to stay above them. See, here he comes. It wouldn't be natural for any kind of larvae or any kind of minnow to swim right into the fish.
We'll let that one go. We're finding them though under this white ice. You see this strip of white ice here? I think it has to do with we lost all that snow, so it's almost like they got a little cover For the crappies, we're looking for anywhere from that. We're letting the real big ones go. You know, you let your 13 plus go. We're keeping that 11 to 12 and a half, 13.
Good fish. Nice fish.
So, Andy, why do you think these fish are stacked up underneath this white ice? You think a lot of it's got to do with the snow melting?
Yeah, we lost all our snow cover. We had 2 inches of snow on the lake here yesterday, and now that all this black ice, anywhere where the black ice is, the fish just vanish as soon as you walk over them. This white ice, we've been watching them with the live scope from about 80 feet away, and they've been sitting right here for the last half an hour. Well, we've got in here and punched holes on them, and now they seem to be staying right here rather than running away like they've been.
So this is my first time building some Eskimos. We went down to Artisan this week, picked everything up. I got a couple of 2000s and the 2800 Escape. Really nice quality on these flip over shelters. Really like the bench seat on this 2000. 2 people or me and the kid. We're gonna do more of the drag in the shelters. A, you can put all your gear in it. B, you're not messing with that hub, especially if there's not that much wind. You can have this thing set up with the windbreak, flip it right over your head. The fish aren't biting. You flip it up against the back post and you can move to the next spot. It's super fast. All your gear is in here with you. You're not picking something up and having to walk with everything juggling it. Pulling these out with them runners was a night and day difference compared to pulling them out without them. But this channel plastic that goes around this tub, it's meant to go around the plastic tub and the material, so it can be a little bit of a chore to get that to go on there. But as I'm building the shelter, when I know I'm about a half hour out, I'll take a big bowl of really hot water as I can get out of the sink, and I put that coiled up strip of plastic in that water, so when it comes time to put it on, you got it warmed up, it's super soft, and it goes on this lip 10 times easier. So I would definitely do that shortcut as well.
Got him that time. Boy, I got that one up about 8 foot off the bottom. It's amazing what it took to get him to go. You know, that's the cool part too, like I say. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's almost as bad as catching a sheephead on Winnebago. When you catch a rock bass, this is my philosophy. It's time to move to another hole.
Senior!
Woohoo! Woo! There you go.
Say goodbye to this rod, Tommy.
Add it to your collection, right?
Yep.
Think about all the years he took all your stuff. That's a dandy. Hold that one up. Beaut. Well, that one really came up. You know, again, it's just trying to stay above them fish 2 or 3 foot, and I got a good school down there, probably 6-8 fish I'm marking at one time. And definitely just trying to get them fish to come up. Ooh, that's we're getting closer, what I'm looking for. Really using quick snaps. And when you're using that quick snap, I'll tell you what, it really gives that jig a totally different action. And it just helps that jig rock up and down, but it also gives it a side-to-side action. You know, anytime when it comes to fishing, doing little things makes a big difference. Senior, hey, I cannot get over that new knee you got is like how agile you are.
Best thing I ever
Oh,
did.
you're breaking it in slow, huh?
Yep.
Meg's rod is definitely doing the job today. Get it through the hole. That's a good eater right there.
Got there.
Secret. I gotta try to catch up with Larry.
What are you doing? I want to know.
Oh, it's trouble.
Hey, Tommy, let's kind of talk too about what you changed. You kind of went back to where you were a few years ago.
Yep.
You're not running the Sherps anymore. You're for the most part, you're not going to run a wind sled. You went back to snowmobiles. You bought a bunch of new snowmobiles.
Yep.
Why?
The winters are just fluctuating so much. You know, the Sherps are, as we know, an expense, and they need to run. They haven't ran in a couple years. They seem to be on Lake Superior. They're a great application for ice guiding. I don't know that they are on a Great Lake because it's holding me back.
Okay.
So I don't want to bust the ice up for all the guys out there, and I'm stuck behind where I would be on a snowmobile. You know, where I could go out, say I can go out 10 miles or 5 miles on 6, 7, 8 inches ice.
Right.
I don't want to take the Sherpa out there yet because they fall through and I'd have to bust ice all the way back. So we're going from 10 people a day to 6 people a day. It's a little more personable. It got to be so busy. It was hard to move around more because you get the Sherps parked and everything out.
Right.
And you're having to pack it up. With the snowmobiles, you've seen it. We're just so quick. Everything's on the machine and we can move. Just a lot more mobile.
This is nice. It took a little bit to get these fish fired up, but this might be a bluegill. Feels a little different for some reason.
Uh-oh.
Is there? Yep.
Oh.
The old bluegill.
The Acme Rattlemaster. Unlike the rest of these geezers we got here today, I don't need glasses yet. I'm only a couple years out.
I'm not there yet. I don't need glasses either.
The other
I'm
guys,
borderline though.
they're passing around a pair of readers like a shot glass. We're going with a live bait. Larry's getting a little too big of a pile over there. Thing that definitely saved us today, you can see these long strips of this white ice. If we wouldn't have sat on it, you can see all of our holes are right on this. After this snow melted today, them fish are using this for cover. It's like one big lily pad, eh Larry?
Yeah, I would agree with you 100% on
But
that.
unbelievable how they will not leave. Anywhere else when we're fishing this on a normal day, we have to kind of chase them around the hole. Today they're not leaving this white strip. Like we might have to go down towards Bryan or on this end, but they're just roaming back and forth on this thing. You look, even a couple years ago, we had all of them salmon move into Chequamegon Bay, and there's always one big pressure crack that runs from the end of the lighthouse to Washburn in Chequamegon Bay. Cohos, even though they were towards the bottom, would run that crack the whole time. Oh, for like 2-3 weeks, we sat.
Oh, you dog! I was starting.
2-3 weeks.
I was gonna get
we
that
sat
one.
on that crack and caught cohos. They'd run up and down that thing the whole time. It was. But yeah, even though you're in 30-40 feet of water, they're still relating to something that's right on the surface.
I said, smoke it. See? Oh, little blug. Little bluegill.
I don't know how you do all your crappie stuff, but I went with 6-pound Suffolk 832 braid, and then I went with a 4-pound fluorocarbon Suffolk leader.
How long of a leader do you typically run?
I used to
on
like
yours?
5 feet,
Okay.
4 or 5 feet.
And what's your reason for running the fluorocarbon leader?
In my head, visually, I don't like braid going right to the bait. Either mono or fluoro. It doesn't really bother me.
I just had one there. What is the best length of rod for pan fishing and action?
You must be about a 32, 30.
This is a longer rod. Yeah, this
Yeah.
one's a 32 incher.
Well, we're in the shelters at times with
Yep.
clients, so I'm at a 28 to a 32 inch.
Okay.
The Meg's Power Noodle.
Really?
Nice gill.
Yep.
I just like that soft tip, and I like the backbone on there. I mean, you can tell on all our rods that first 10 inches is the softest part, you know, and then you
Right.
get plenty of backbone in there, because some of these fish are pushing over 14, 15 inches. So you don't want something so light that it's bending right to your
But
reel.
you want
and
it
got
light
nothing.
enough where you can detect that bite. You know.
Correct. And we're only fishing 25 feet today. There's lakes we'll be in a 50-foot basin where we're fishing down 42 feet. You know, that's when you definitely want to have the braid, like we talked about.
Every once in a while, I always take my reel and I kind of always just turn at that spool, because a lot of times that moisture will get in there and that air is so cold, it'll start freezing that up. So it's always good every once in a while.
I'll just take it and make sure I ball bearing in the reel
Okay.
itself, you know, to get that little bit of ice you always get right here.
Right.
You know, just get that braid and you'll see the ice flick off and you're good to go.
Senior, what do you got going on here?
Well, we're not sure yet, but it's
Ooh. I like to see it. Whatever it is, I want to see it.
Yeah, it's got a good attitude. Nice little bonus fish right in the beak. If you're gonna hook a pike on a panfish rod, that's where you want it.
The first expensive thing I would buy for ice fishing would definitely be a Vexilar. Bottom line, they do catch you a ton more fish. We are using 2 different types of electronics today. We're using a forward-facing sonar and Vexilars, but I still, especially for what I do on Lake Superior, the forward-facing sonar doesn't do a ton for me in the winter. This right here, my favorite's the FLX 30 for sure.
The absolute first thing I'm going to spend my money on is a good ice suit. But no, if you're going to be out in the weather and out in the cold, you want to be comfortable. If you're not comfortable, you're not going to have fun. It's just not worth the effort. You go out, you're happy, you're warm, you're dry, you're going to have a better time no matter how you look at it.
And you float.
That safety, yeah, just like I've got picks on my neck right now. Sure. You never know.
The thing that has changed ice fishing more than any other piece of equipment is an ice drill. I remember when there wasn't ice drills and you were doing it all by hand, you never moved. You would not move for nothing. If these guys had to chisel all the holes they drilled today, they'd be on number 4, not 50. Hey everybody, this week's tip of the week brought to you by our good friends up at Mike's Country Meats, the finest jerky on the planet. You know, I've always said little things make a big difference. And I'll tell you, I learned this little trick a long time ago from one of my mentors, Rody Britke. The guy was just an incredible fisherman, and I've seen it so many times make such a huge difference. What I'm using is a quick snap on all my small jigs. And what it's actually doing is giving it more of a lifelike presentation, and it makes a big difference. Again, just putting that quick snap on there and helping that jig just rock back and forth and up and down makes some big difference. If you guys want to catch more fish, again, try a quick snap on your small jigs. Hey, this week's tip of the week, again, brought to you by our good friends up at Mike's Country Meats, the finest jerky on the planet.
It's almost like the days when you had a Harley and you were waving to the guy on a bike. You see another warrior on the water, you just get a good feel.
First class, all the way from the people that ride them to the people that make them.
They do such a nice job with communication. They'll pick up the phone anytime. It's really almost a friendship.
You could be in any state, and when somebody with a warrior drives by you, you get that honk, that beep. You're truly part of a family, and there's nothing like it.
Introducing Forever Barnwood. Transform your space with the warmth and character of a genuine barnwood look. Forever Barnwood offers over 200 authentic barnwood products. We are commercial and food safe. Our products are available in unlimited quantities while still providing the consistency you need to complete large projects. All of this while still looking like it came out of a 100-year-old barn. Forever Barnwood. Bring the history inside.
Look at this bass. Bought this for my first hunt. It just took a lot of years to get to this point. What happens when you grab your 5-year-old's vest? I started wearing this when I was 12. And it's just one of the things, like a good gun, you can't give up your favorite bird vest. I ain't even got a stain on it yet.
Yep, got him. I love buddies. Tommy says to me, hey, we can either go walleye fishing tonight or we can go try to shoot some grouse and maybe try to get a snowshoe rabbit. We haven't been here 2 minutes. There's a snowshoe. I just ended up getting it. I'll show you. It's all white. I need some more shells, buddy. A lot of people don't know that a snowshoe, obviously in the winter, changes color. It goes to white, so they blend in with the snow. See, they're almost the same size as a cottontail, but the legs are bigger, and obviously the fur turns white. Hey, you think in your vest you got room in your back of your pouch?
How much can you fit in a 12-year-old's vest? Makes the rabbits look bigger.
There you go, buddy. We're having a little crappie, huh?
Crappies. We got some sweet potato fries, some potato salad.
Deep fry them too?
How many crappie can one man eat? Fillets. I suppose if it's the ones you kept or the ones I kept.
They have a point there.
We got Larry's fillet and then mine. I don't know if you guys know.
I can't help it. You clean mine differently than you clean your own. That's all I gotta say. I've only had that happen one time.
Was that the blow technique?
You look at, then you got a little shake and bake. This,
I'll just sample it for you guys. Hey Tommy, this is probably the first time that we've ever closed the show off like this. What an awesome day we had. You know, really weren't expecting to catch as many crappies as we did. And we were going to do some walleye fishing this afternoon, but we decided, you know what? Let's go and do a little hunting instead. And that was a lot of
done nothing off camera pretty much.
Yep.
And just for fun in a long time.
Yeah, so I appreciate that.
Cool.
We shot a
We had
bunch.
plenty of fish.
Yeah, shot a bunch of grouse. We shot a snowshoe rabbit. That was a great time.
Cool.
Hey, but let's go back and let's talk a little bit. Welcome to Eskimo for sure on that. Welcome to the family there. I'll tell you what, I love being part of the family. And let's get down to the nitty gritty stuff here, buddy, because I'm tired. I'm gonna go. I'm getting up at 3:30. But let's talk real quick about what you got coming up this winter. What kind of trips you got coming up, and let's tell everybody how they can get a hold of you.
Yep, we're doing full day trips. That's all we're offering now. Full day trips, $300 a person. We have all the gear. All you got to do is show up. Appropriate clothing to fish in a heated shelter and the ride out.
Most of the fishing you're going to be doing is going to be out on Lake Superior.
We're going to be out on Lake Superior, the Apostle Islands. We got a couple partnerships for rooms you guys can check out on the website, beyondthecatch.com. You can give me a call at 715-292-4342 or check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Hey, like we do each and every week, we always want to give special thanks to all of our military men and women for the great service they have given this country and continue to give this country, along with all of our firefighters and paramedics, and no doubt all of our law enforcement agents. We thank you guys and gals for watching our show this week. The best part is, it is a great day to be alive, and we'll see you guys and gals again next week, and thanks for joining us. We fished hard all day pretty much. We didn't fish hard. We didn't fish hard at all.
No.
We kicked the